Along with Bob Walk, I'm Tim Neverett, and joining us right now, Pirates general manager Neil Huntington. Pirates announcing the trade today with the Mets. Marlon Byrd and John Buck expected to be here tomorrow.
They are. They're excited to get here. They're actually driving tonight and be in uniform for the Bucks tomorrow.
Did you try to acquire Byrd, a right-handed hitting outfielder, at the deadline, and just there was no deal to be made at that time?
That's basically the way to put it. We had conversations, and it just wasn't a match at that point in time. Obviously, as things evolved, we were able to come to an agreement, and we're looking forward to getting Marlon in the lineup.
And what do you think Marlon brings to the table, first and foremost?
He's an accomplished veteran hitter that's in the middle of a great year. He's had a power surge this year. He's a threat every time he walks in the batter's box, whether he beat out an infield hit because he can still run, drive a ball into the gap, hit a ball into the seats, play solid defense, and more than anything else, he lengthens our lineup. We're a little bit light right now, depending upon some guys that it may not be fair with Marte's injury, and feel really good once we get Starling back, but we knew we needed to continue to compete and continue to put ourselves in a position to win games, and thought that Marlon Byrd was a good addition to our offense.
Knowing that you tried to get Byrd earlier in the year, I know a lot of people think, well, Marte got hurt, so it forced your hand, but this is a player you had your eye on and probably would have tried to acquire anyway. Am I correct?
We would have. There's no question that we wanted to help this team at the trade deadline, and we just did not find a suitable fit. We've worked this August with waiver claims and potential acquisitions, and worked hard to try to find a fit, and this was one we got to a point in time where we felt good with. The New York Mets did a nice job. They've got two good players in return with bright futures for guys that are going to help us do everything we can to stay with the Cardinals and Reds, because our goal is to win a division. Our goal is to play deep into October, and we believe that Marlon Byrd and John Buck help us do that.
You believe that this trade really shows your commitment to winning this year?
Oh, Davis, big catch.
You did have to give something up, obviously, and to bring him in. And I've been talking about during this game that you're not leaving any stone unturned, that you're trying to do everything you can for this season.
We are. We don't want to take this for granted. We don't want to take being on the verge of being able to not only make the playoffs, but we've got pitching and we can play defense and we can run into some balls, and we've got some evolving offensive pieces that we believe that we can go deep into October, and that's the goal. Just getting there is not going to be enough for us.
Pedro Alvarez at the plate. Tell us about John Buck, why you like Buck.
Well, as we experienced in 2011, I think when we went through 8 catchers, you never have enough catching depth. It's a little bit like pitching depth, and when we lost Michael, we've been on the hunt for a legitimate third major league catcher. Felt Kelly Shopik was better than what we had internally, but the opportunity to add a John Buck, who's been there, who's done that. He can hit a ball into the seats. He's going to receive fine. He's going to game call. He's a veteran presence, and both guys are high character guys to add to our clubhouse.
Pedro Alvarez through the shift, and Pedro with a pair of singles tonight. He's 2 for 2, a 2-out single for Alvarez.
The other thing it does is it allows Clint to be aggressive with Tony Sanchez off the bench as a right-handed hitter, or John Buck if he thinks the matchup is a good fit there. So because he's got a legitimate third catcher sitting there in John Buck, or it allows him to be aggressive pinch running for Tony or pinch running for John Buck if he gets on. So it frees up Clint to be more aggressive earlier in the game, to use both his catchers, because he's got confidence in both Tony Sanchez and John Buck.
And now he's still, as we get to the end of August, you've got call-ups to worry about. You've got a potential playoff roster to set. You have maybe even the possibility that somebody pops up on the waiver wire again.
Yeah, we'll continue to look, and it's been a strange waiver season. There were fewer players put on earlier, with more players being claimed, and now a little bit new this year that there's been a late rush of guys being put through on waivers, and again, teams being very aggressive, ourselves included, with claiming players to block them from being able to go somewhere else, because you can't make a trade for a player unless he clears all 29 other teams once you put him on.
Martin in the air to right field, backing up by Oki, who will make the catch. That's going to do it. Neil, thanks for joining us, and congratulations on pulling this trade off.
Thanks, guys, as always.
All right, General Manager Neil Huntington joining us in the booth. We go to the 5th at PNC Park. It's 2-0 Brewers.